has officially launched a case, and if proven true, Chrisean Rock could face not just public backlash, but the very real possibility of losing custody of her son. Let's be clear, this isn't just celebrity drama. This isn't another petty, back-and-forth or headline-fueling feud designed to drive views and boost followers. No, this time, it's something far more serious. This is a conversation that has moved beyond gossip and crossed into dangerous territory. This is potentially child endangerment, caught in real time, on camera. For months now, we've watched Chrisean navigate motherhood in the most public, unfiltered, and chaotic way imaginable. Every breakdown, every questionable moment, every tear, every outburst, it's all been broadcast to millions. And while social media may have once been her playground, it's quickly becoming the courtroom in which she's being judged, not as a reality star, not as a rapper's ex, but as a mother. And the concern is no longer just about image or reputation. The concern is now about safety, the physical, emotional, and developmental safety of a child who cannot speak for himself, cannot choose his environment, and cannot protect his own well-being. Let's talk facts. A nearly 2-year-old child, who cannot walk, who is often seen crying, unsupervised, or seemingly in distress in online videos, that's not just bad optics. That's a red flag, a blaring siren that's making fans, viewers, even complete strangers on the internet stop scrolling and ask, is this baby okay? And while Chrisean may be used to riding the waves of controversy used to the clout, the chaos, and the viral clips, this time, the tide might pull her under. Because parenting is not content. Babies are not branding. And when the cameras stop rolling, what's left is a child who still needs to eat, sleep, feel loved, be safe, and be nurtured. This isn't to say Chrisean doesn't love her son. In fact, it's clear she does. You can see it in fleeting moments when she lights up talking about him, when she fiercely defends him, when she shares her pain about doing it all alone. But love alone isn't enough. Not when there are signs of neglect. Not when your choices are being documented and dissected in front of the world. Not when your own trauma threatens to become your child's inheritance. And maybe that's the hardest part of this entire situation, watching someone clearly in pain, clearly overwhelmed, clearly trying but not getting it right, and not getting the help she desperately needs. Because at this point, it's not about being real online, it's about being responsible. And if no one in her inner circle is willing to step in, if the family, the friends, and the fans are too afraid to speak truth to power, then maybe it's time for someone else to. Because the internet doesn't need another train wreck to laugh at. What it needs is a community that protects the vulnerablest, especially the children. And this child, he deserves better than to be part of a storyline. He deserves peace. He deserves privacy. He deserves a chance. Fans who once defended her are now divided. Some say she's been spiraling for months and needs help, real help. Not clout, not attention, not a new viral moment. Others are calling for immediate accountability, arguing that enough is enough and that a child's safety should never be a punchline or sacrificed for a vibe. Even influencers and former supporters are pulling away. One notable comment read, "This ain't about hating Chrisean. This is about protecting an innocent child who didn't ask for any of this." At this point, it's no longer about whether Chrisean Rock meant to do it or whether she was joking. It's about patterns. It's about what people are seeing again and again, from unstable IG lives to reckless parenting moments, and whether the system will intervene before something irreversible happens. Now the question isn't if she respond, because she will, but what happens next. Does she take accountability? Will she lose custody? Will this finally be the wake-up call she and everyone around her refuses to face? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is this the last straw? Or are people rushing to judgment too fast? And while you're here, don't miss this next video where we break down every red flag that led up to this moment. It's all connected. There may be more videos worse than the one we've already seen being held as leverage. According to a source tied to her cousin, this footage isn't just controversial or shocking, it's allegedly too disturbing to be made public. We're talking about potential evidence that could push the case from public scandal into criminal prosecution. And if it comes to light, it might not just be custody Chrisean loses, but her freedom. This is no longer about a single moment caught on camera. It's a full-scale unraveling of a woman the world watched spiral in real time. And now it's all collapsing under the weight of poor decisions, toxic relationships, betrayal from her own circle, and a baby caught in the middle of chaos he never chose. Here's the bottom line. CPS has allegedly removed the child. Chrisean is under investigation. Blueface may be considered for emergency custody. Chrisean's own inner circle may have sold her out. More damning footage could be released. Felony charges are on the table. And what started as just another messy moment on social media is now turning into a potential criminal case. What happens next will be a defining chapter not just for Chrisean Rock, but for the industry that helped build her up and laughed as she crumbled. And whether you love her, hate her, or feel sorry for her, this baby deserves better than all of it. Your thoughts? Has Chrisean hit rock bottom? Do you think this situation could have been prevented? And what role do you think Blueface and her circle really played in this? Drop your take in the comments. And if you want a full timeline of every red flag we missed before it came to this, click here for the breakdown. This situation involving Chrisean Rock isn't just social media drama anymore, it's reached a dangerous and heartbreaking level. After the first video surfaced showing her allegedly pouring alcohol into her baby's bottle, a second video has now leaked. This one shows her dancing with a liquor bottle while her baby's crib is just feet away. In the background, people are laughing and cheering her on, with someone saying, "You viral tomorrow." That moment made one thing clear. This wasn't an accident, it was a setup. Key developments. Second leak sparks outrage. New video shows Chrisean Rock partying near baby. Raises alarming questions about intent and safety. What began as internet gossip is now spiraling into a full-blown crisis. The second leaked video involving Chrisean Rock and her infant son has pushed public concern to a boiling point. This isn't just about celebrity antics anymore. It's about a child's well-being, and the shocking revelation that those closest to Chrisean may have exploited her most vulnerable moments for money, fame, and attention. Let's break it down. The second leak, partying and public neglect. The second video, which hit social media just days after the first round of concerning footage surfaced, shows Chrisean at a party. The setting is dimly lit, the music is loud, and her baby, visibly present in the background, is seen lying unattended as Chrisean drinks, dances, and interacts with party. The mood of the room is unsettling. Rather than anyone intervening, those around her are heard laughing, joking about going viral, and hyping her up as she continues to behave recklessly around her child. There's no mistaking it. This isn't a moment of poor judgment captured by accident. It's a crowd co-signing dangerous behavior, and it's caught on camera. The internet wasted no time reacting. Comments flooded the video within hours. Why is there a baby at a party like this? This isn't funny, it's heartbreaking. She needs help, not a camera in her face. But what's more disturbing than the content of the video is how it was captured and why. Deliberate filming, exploiting a downfall for profit. According to sources close to the situation, the footage was not leaked by accident. It was allegedly filmed from two different angles, one by Chrisean's cousin's girlfriend and another by the cousin's boyfriend. Screenshots circulating online show what appears to be a $3,500 payment made to someone connected to the footage. It strongly suggests the video was sold intentionally, most likely to a tabloid or online blog for profit. The implications of that are chilling. Not only did the people around Chrisean fail to protect her child, they may have orchestrated the moment, or at least seized the opportunity to monetize it. If true, this is no longer just a case of a mother making dangerous choices. It's a circle of enablers complicit in broadcasting a child's endangerment for clout and cash. As the videos go viral, it's hard not to ask, where was the protection? For Chrisean, yes, but more urgently, for her son, CPS involvement, emergency action taken. Sources close to Los Angeles County's Child Protection Services have confirmed what many had feared: the authorities are now officially involved. According to reports, an emergency safety plan was activated shortly after the second video leaked. While details are being closely guarded for legal reasons, multiple insiders claim that the baby is no longer in Chrisean's direct care. Instead, he is believed to be staying with a family member under temporary supervision, while officials assess the environment and determine what long-term interventions are necessary. This step is not taken lightly. In California, the threshold for removing a child, even temporarily, requires substantial concern for the child's immediate safety. That the agency moved so quickly speaks volumes about how seriously they viewed the situation. For many observers, this move was overdue. The baby has frequently appeared in viral videos that raised eyebrows: delayed development, lack of supervision, and now, partying near loud music and alcohol. This isn't just a viral moment, it's a crisis intervention. Chrisean's response: a silent breakdown. Chrisean, known for her brash, unfiltered online presence, remained uncharacteristically silent. In the wake of the video's release and the growing backlash, no Instagram lives, no defensive rants, no combative tweets, just a sudden absence from the spotlight. But then, a flash of vulnerability broke through. Late at night, she posted a now-deleted Instagram story. A dimly lit video showed her baby's empty crib. No toys, no blankets, just silence. Over it, she typed the caption, "I really messed up this time." The story was gone in minutes, deleted as quickly as it appeared, but it spoke volumes more than any rant or denial could. For once, there was no deflection. Just a raw, painful glimpse into a mother realizing the weight of her actions. It was a moment of grief, of regret, and maybe, finally, of reckoning. What happens now? That's the question on everyone's mind. What happens now to Chrisean, to the baby, to the people who filmed and sold these videos? Because this situation goes far beyond social media drama. It forces us to look at some deeply uncomfortable realities: how fame warps responsibility, how trauma gets exploited, and how babies get caught in the crossfire. Chrisean has long been a public example of unhealed pain. She's been open about her abusive relationships, her family dysfunction, her mental health struggles. She's not the villain in a story, but she is an adult with a child. And that means the standards change. The public has watched her spiral for months, but now the cost of that spiral is no longer hers alone. And then there's her inner circle, the friends, family, and supporters who allegedly stood by and filmed her downfall for $3,500. What does that say about the people she's surrounded by? When someone is in crisis and those around her press record instead of stepping in, who's really at fault? A cultural moment and a call for accountability. This saga is more than just a celebrity train wreck. It's a cultural mirror. It forces us to examine the line between entertainment and exploitation, between fame and responsibility, between content and child endangerment. And while it's easy to focus on the drama, the baby at the center of this deserves more. More protection, more silence, more peace, more care. Because right now, he's not just another internet baby, he's a child who, through no fault of his own, became a symbol of everything wrong with how we treat young mothers, Black children, and mental health in the age of virality. We've watched enough. Now it's time to ask ourselves, what will we do differently? Blueface speaks out. In a twist, Blueface tweeted, "If she got set up, it's on y'all." Many were shocked by his sudden concern, considering his past public criticism of her. But since he's listed on the birth certificate, he may now be a candidate for custody. And CPS is reportedly looking into his situation as well. What this really means: this is no longer a case of social media mistakes. A baby's welfare is at stake. And what started as a chaotic lifestyle captured online has now led to real, legal, and personal consequences. Chrisean may face child endangerment charges, either as a misdemeanor or a felony. And her circle, people who should have helped, allegedly sold her out for cash and clout. The damage is done. Now the question is, who's going to take responsibility? And what happens to the child caught in the middle? The situation surrounding Chrisean Rock has quickly spiraled from social media drama into a serious child welfare crisis, triggering national concern. It all began when a video surfaced online showing Chrisean holding a baby bottle filled with what appeared to be liquor. The person behind the camera, reportedly someone she knew, claimed it was alcohol, and the internet erupted. Fans and critics alike flooded CPS with calls, demanding action. Reports suggest CPS may have already visited her home, and insiders from Los Angeles Social Services confirmed Chrisean has been on their radar since her child was born. But the situation escalated when a second video leaked, showing Chrisean dancing with a half-empty bottle near her baby's crib, as voices in the background laughed and encouraged her behavior. The most disturbing part wasn't just Chrisean's actions, it was the people around her, who chose to record rather than intervene. Internet detectives quickly identified one of the voices as belonging to her cousin's girlfriend, who has appeared in many of Chrisean's past live streams. Allegations emerged that this individual, along with her partner, may have sold the footage to gossip outlets for thousands of dollars. A Cash App receipt and leaked DMIs suggest the videos were intentionally captured and distributed, possibly for financial gain or leverage. As the videos spread, celebrities started weighing in. Cardi B, Taraji P. Henson, and Angela Yee all expressed concern, not only for the child's safety but for how Chrisean's downward spiral was exploited. Even Blueface, known for mocking her publicly in the past, posted a surprisingly sympathetic tweet, suggesting she had been set up. This was a sharp contrast from his usual stance. And many fans were skeptical of his intentions, some speculating that he's trying to position himself as a fit parent in case custody shifts his way. Insiders say, since he's on the birth certificate, CPS may consider him for emergency custody. Meanwhile, parenting influencers and mother-focused communities across platforms shared heartbreak and outrage. One TikTok creator broke down in tears, saying she recognized signs of postpartum distress but was devastated that no one around Chrisean offered help. As the backlash grew, rumors of a third, more disturbing video began circulating. Anonymous sources claimed it shows Chrisean crying while holding a bottle and saying, "I don't care anymore." Allegedly, the same couple who released the original videos is holding this one back to release only if Chrisean denies the previous footage. This has sparked accusations of blackmail and exploitation, with many now shifting blame not only onto Chrisean, but also onto her entire circle, who seemingly watched her unravel while doing nothing to help. The internet is now grappling with its own role in the spectacle, with one viral tweet stating, "We didn't cancel her. We watched her cancel herself, and we called it entertainment." In the wake of the viral fallout, brands have started distancing themselves. Collaborations, product drops, and planned appearances have been pulled. Her social media presence has gone nearly silent, and the only recent activity on Instagram story showing an empty crib with the caption, "I really messed up this time," was deleted within minutes. A neighbor reportedly witnessed government vehicles at her residence and said Chrisean handed her child over to CPS, without protest, appearing emotionally numb. As the legal system prepares to weigh in, the internet continues to speculate about what's next. Will Chrisean speak out? Will the rumored third video surface? And will the system prioritize the safety of the child over the chaos of celebrity scandal? As the backlash intensified, major platforms and brands began to quietly distance themselves. A representative from one of Chrisean Rock's recent brand deals revealed, "We can't move forward until this legal situation is resolved. It's too high risk right now." Spotify removed her music from its curated playlists, and YouTube flagged her last livestream for potential safety violations. The very platforms that helped elevate her career were now silencing her presence. Online, the fanbase fractured into two camps: Team Accountability, arguing that she's no longer the victim, and the child's safety must come first, and Team Compassion, defending her as someone clearly suffering from trauma in plain sight. One fan's viral comment summed it up with piercing clarity: "We built her like a circus act, and now she's paying the price alone." But before the comment wars could settle, another bombshell dropped. A verified gossip journalist confirmed a third video exists, rumored to be more incriminating than the first two. Legal experts jumped in, one entertainment lawyer tweeting that if the third video proves intent and a pattern of endangerment, Chrisean could face up to 3 years under California's child endangerment laws. Suddenly, the tone across social media changed, less mocking, more fearful. The collective sentiment became clear: protect the child, pray for the mother, and expose the people who stood by and filmed it just after midnight, when many believed the story had hit its final note. Chrisean reappeared after 72 hours of silence. No posts, no tweets, no statements, but she didn't return with a rant or denial. She went live. The stream began, not with her face, but with a laptop screen. A file titled "For the People Who Think They Know Me.mov was opened. What followed was haunting. It started with silent, slow clips: her living room scattered with toys, a baby bottle knocked over, a blinking baby monitor light, while noise from a party could be heard downstairs. Then, over the video, her voice: "I never claimed to be perfect, but I ain't evil either. Y'all wanted the truth. Fine, here it is." Over the next few minutes, she narrated footage showing her crying in a bathroom, close-ups of bruises on her own body, and moments of isolation while people partied in her home. The now infamous alcohol clip was shown again, but this time from her own phone, and with more context. A voice in the background could be clearly heard saying, "Girl, just do it, watch how crazy the blogs go." They had egged her on. They manipulated her. They recorded her fall, not to help, but to sell it. At the 5-minute mark, Chrisean finally appeared on screen, no makeup, hood up, and visibly shaken. "You think I ain't know what y'all was doing? You think I didn't feel it every time I handed my baby to someone just to cry in the next room?" She paused. "I made mistakes. Big ones. But I ain't the only villain in this story." Then, the screen went black. Immediately after, she posted a single screenshot to her Instagram, an email with the subject line, "Media Request. Red Table Talk, Healing, and Motherhood." Her caption simply read, "Let's talk." For real this time, it's official. Chrisean is going public. Not with denial, but with a reckoning. A sit-down with Jada Pinkett Smith looms, and with it, perhaps the first honest unpacking of everything that led to this point. The fame, the trauma, the manipulation, and the desperate plea for healing in front of millions who once only watched to be entertained. Jada Pinkett Smith responded to the buzz by reposting the Red Table Talk invite and writing, "There's space for the full truth. See you soon, Chrisean." And just like that, the cliffhanger deepened. But before fans could process what this could mean, a legal bombshell dropped. Blogs reported that Chrisean Rock had been officially summoned to appear in court the following Friday for a custody review hearing. The child remains under emergency care, with investigations still active. And then, late into the night, Chrisean posted a quiet, chilling message to her story, "Don't count me out." No explanation. No argument. Just 3 words loaded with meaning. Now the world waits. Will she lose custody for good? Will she release the full, unedited footage to clear her name? Will the people around her finally be exposed for manipulating and exploiting her most vulnerable moments? And what about the industry? Will it embrace her journey toward redemption, or blacklist her for good? One thing is clear. This is no longer just a viral scandal. It's the start of a pivotal moment in public reckoning about motherhood, mental health, betrayal, exploitation, and the price of visibility. The question isn't whether this story is over. It's whether the next chapter will be about healing, or collapse, because the footage isn't fully out. The courtroom still awaits. The red table is being set. And behind it all is a woman refusing to be counted out, whether for redemption or one last fall.